Hi, creative friends. This is Freya, and thank you so much for being here. So I'm going to dive right into this portrait, and I was looking at it before I turned the camera on, and there's a lot of it that I'm really drawn to, that I find interesting. Whether it's beautiful or not is kind of subjective, but I'm loving it so much more now than I was when I was struggling and fighting with the page. But before I dive into this, I just wanted to address a few different things. So in my last video, I mentioned that, when I'm working on this portrait and then I go and work on, say, another portrait, whatever I'm learning in on one page, I'm going to take those skills and I am going to now use those skills in my next portrait. And that is 100% true. But what I should have mentioned is that it's true for anything that you're working on. So just say that, I am working on this portrait and then I come and work on this background. And on the face of it, it might seem like, they are not even related. But anything I learn here, I am absolutely going to now use all of those skills, and I'm gonna use it on this. And even even a spread like this, which is more stylized, so it's not it's not like the same. It's quite different, but it doesn't matter. I'm still going to take what I learned from here and I'm going to use it here. And that could be true if you're doing a still life or anything. And I made a video, it's called the Cross Pollination of Ideas, and I will put a link to that video in the description to this video in case you guys were interested in watching it. But that's one of the really good reasons to keep on moving from art journal to art journal, project to project. And even if you're moving from a portrait to a still life, etc., there's so much to be learned, and it strengthens each different page that you're working on. The second thing I wanted to address is that somebody asked me a question about, am I using acrylics with my watercolors? And I just wanted to clarify that I am not using any watercolors at all. I actually have these inks over here, and they are, let me see here, they are Ranger archival inks, and they are re-inkers, so Reinker, and they're very rich and vibrant. And I use a little bit and then I do water it down quite a bit, so that might seem like it's watercolor, but I don't have any watercolors. Now I also have this Liquitex transparent acrylic ink. I have quite a few of different colors of these inks, and also once again I water it down quite a bit, but these are not watercolors. So I just wanted to specify that. And I think those were the only two things. Oh, and somebody did ask me what color I was using for one of my reds, and I'm so sorry, you guys, but as you can see over here, the bottle is completely covered in paint, so I cannot even see the name. But most likely I combine colors unless I squirted it directly from the bottle. But I really can't tell you what color that is, but it's most likely like an alizarin crimson or a red. I'm so sorry, you guys. I can't tell you the specific name of that particular color. Um, Anyways, I'm just going to dive right into this portrait. Now, it's still looking a bit rough around the edges. Like I need to soften it quite a bit. And that is totally fine. I think I am happy with the placement of the features. I'm happy with like the chin, the lips, and the nose. I don't know about the eyes. Like I think if I move the eyes any lower down, it's gonna be like, it's gonna look weird. So I'm thinking the eyes are placed correctly. So I guess as I go along, I will find out. But anyways, you guys, while I work here, I did want to talk about something, and I have talked about this before, I think when I was doing my still life series, but one of the great reasons to work in this way, where you are, like I could come in here and I'm going to show you another page. Like if I'm not happy with the eyes, and it may not even be the eye placement, you guys, it might not be like where the eyes are placed on the face. It could just be that I'm not happy with the eyes, okay? Which is totally fine. And what I've been doing is, I'm gonna try to find one. And see, like over here, there's nothing wrong with the eye placement per se, but I wasn't happy with the eyes. I don't know why. So I just went in there and I just covered it up with blue ink. I'm probably going to come in here and add more inks to it, like sepia and maybe even a Payne's gray, which is like black, okay? I might come in and do that. And that is totally fine. And I'm thinking I might do that with these eyes as well. I don't know. So one of the things is when I was struggling with the page and I was really frustrated and I was like, oh my God, and I was fighting with the page, what happened is my face was too narrow and I couldn't figure that out. Now I don't have a reference photo for this, like I'm just making this up in my head. So, you know, when I left it alone and I went and worked on another art journal, I worked on my backgrounds. One of the great things that came out from me doing that is I got a fresh perspective, because sometimes when you're working on something so much, you can't really see what is going on. So if you leave it overnight or for a few days or a week or a month or whatever, you come back at it. And now when you look at it, you can spot things that you couldn't spot before. So I don't know if I'm going to cover the eyes up with, you know, like I could just come in and just use like a blue ink or whatever. I don't know yet. I think it's okay for right now, but I'm not sure. And, oh my goodness, I got off topic there for a minute. Well, I'll get back to the color fields here in a minute, but I just wanted to point out, you guys, that, you know, not knowing is not a bad place to be. I think we live in times, a culture, whatever it might be, where, you know, there's so much value placed on knowing and being sure of what you're doing, etc., etc. And that has its place. I'm not saying it doesn't. That has value as well, but it's not the only way of being. You know, sometimes we are not sure, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually a really good place to be when you're not sure, when you're uncertain, because it shows that you're open-minded, you're open to learning, and it's beginner's mind. You're so much more open to saying, you know what, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going with this. And then it allows you to look at things with fresh eyes, to you know, seek other ways of approaching something. So I just wanted to point that out. Like, it's not a bad thing at all. I don't look at it as a bad thing. Now, when I first started painting many years ago, yeah, you know, you have this, well, I did. I'm only going to speak for myself. I have this concept of like, I have to know what I'm doing all the time, like when I'm painting. Otherwise, I'm not a real artist. Like, if I don't know what I'm doing all the time, then oh my God. But when I started taking classes from really good teachers, you know, I learned the value of not knowing, of just being in that space of beginner's mind. It is so freeing, and you will be surprised at, you know, where your art goes. Anyways, I'm going to get back to talking about color fields here. So what I was going to say is, when we work like this, where, you know, we're building up our pages, and like, because it's mixed media, it's so forgiving. I can come in here and I can cover up, you know, 80% of this whole thing, and it's okay. It's just going to add to my paint quality. It's going to add to the depth of my color fields. And let's see here. And it's going to build up your page. And that's what gives it like the texture, the depth. And yeah, so I think working like this, where you're just adding so much, you know, so many layers and so much paint on here, I think that's really building up my page. So I feel like she's kind of softening up a little bit. See, so I want to do the push. So for push parts, I use my darker values and my cooler colors. And let me just kind of sketch the nose in there. So this is part of my 100-day project, you guys. I've got a lot of new followers, so I just wanted to welcome all my new followers to my channel, and I really appreciate any questions you have, or if you have any ideas for videos. I would really appreciate if you just leave them there, and welcome to my channel. And so this is part of my 100-day project that I'm doing, and the reason why I'm doing it is basically to strengthen my values. So I feel like I've really gotten a lot more knowledgeable about values since I've been doing this project, and I'm really happy about that, actually. Okay. And I don't know about the lips here. Let's see. I don't want to get too picky here. I mean, and next what I'm going to do once this all dries is I am going to go in and hone in on the eyes. But I think I'm really liking the direction that it's going in. And like I said, I don't know about the eyes. I don't know if it's, you know, if I'm going to keep it there, but for right now, I'm okay with it. So I guess it's going to stay there. I'm not going to cover it up right now. Also, too, you guys, just one of the things about me is that if I don't know something, I'm just going to say I don't know. Like, I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm doing. And hopefully that gives you guys permission to not know as well. Like, a lot of times I really have no idea what I'm doing, and I think it's a great place to be, honestly. It's beginner's mind, and I learn the most when I'm in beginner's mind, because I'm in a flow state. And I'm not saying don't learn about stuff. I'm not saying don't learn about values and drawing and colors, and all of those things are super important. So I'm not saying don't learn, but sometimes, you know, we just don't know, and it's okay. It's totally fine. It's actually good. It's a good thing to not know. Okay. All right, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.